We've all seen it in the online articles, the street protests, the internet hashtags. Women are becoming more involved in the feminist movement as a result of unrest from problems not solved by the previous waves of feminism. The need for a fourth wave of feminism is rising to ensure American women are equal citizens in the United States, because sexual harassment, pink tax, and suppression of bodily integrity are still prevailing throughout society. But in order to locate the formation of a possible fourth wave, we need to examine the previous waves and the problems that define them. The first wave started as a result of the Seneca Falls Conference in 1848, where women were mainly concerned with getting the right to vote, the abolitionist movement, and promoting basic human rights. However, once black men got the right to vote in the 15th Amendment, white women started becoming more frustrated that they weren't given the same rights. Once women got the right to vote in 1920, the first wave came to an end. The second wave began around the 1960s, addressing many of the issues that had not been solved by the first wave, such as the wage gap, reproductive rights, marital rape, and legal inequalities. Although the second wave failed to represent minority groups within the feminist movement, like women of color and queer women, it also pushed back on the sexualized image of women that was portrayed in beauty pageants like Miss America and Playboy. The third wave emerged around the 1990s from the punk rock genre Riot Grrrl. It rejected many of the ideals of the second wave and embraced femininity and sexuality. Its focus was to combat the problems of inclusivity created by the second wave, with the ideals of intersectionality, trans feminism, and postmodern feminism. But the case of Anita Hill, a long-time problem of sexual harassment, was finally getting national attention. As we can see today, sexual harassment in and outside of work is becoming more highlighted with the #MeToo hashtag on social media. The third wave acted as a basis for allowing sexual harassment and assault to be talked about in public, whereas in earlier decades it was a taboo topic. Now, the #MeToo movement has allowed victims to come out about their experiences and bring light on the amount of people who have suffered. Yet, almost no new policy changes towards sexual harassment in the workplace have been made since the hashtag's initial start in 2014. It is becoming more essential for a new wave that can pressure legislators to make new laws to crack down on perpetrators and protect victims. Although evidence of a new wave can be seen from the development of the Time's Up program, which combats sexual harassment by providing women legal support. By setting up programs of their own, women are rallying under a common goal and pressuring lawmakers to make changes of their own, a clear sign of a new wave that's forming. Outside of work, women face inequality in some of the places least expected: Targets, Walgreens, and CVS's. Pink tax, the increased price of products advertised towards women, hasn't been the object of attention for any of the waves, and as such has remained a mostly untouched issue. Although a few states have passed laws banning the practice of pink tax, the attempts to introduce laws outlawing pink tax have failed in Congress multiple times. Reports from Axe the Pink Tax have found that women pay an average of $1,351 more dollars than men each year on products, highlighting that the pink tax isn't a fictional issue or one that can be ignored, especially when women are already getting paid 80% less than their male counterparts, and that number increases for women of color. The need for a fourth wave is fronting, because if no one pressures Congress to make changes, then the pink tax will continue to leave women paying unequal prices. While we can choose what brands and stores to buy at, women didn't always have the basic choice to have children or not. One of the main complaints of the second wave was that women in the 1960s didn't have access to contraceptives, like condoms and birth control, or preventative methods like abortion, which at the time was illegal. It wasn't until the case of Griswold versus Connecticut in 1965 that the Supreme Court ruled that it was a citizen's right to use contraceptives, and the Roe versus Wade in 1973 that it lifted the ban on abortions. It was thought that the process would become much safer for women once it was legalized. What the second wavers probably couldn't see coming was the amount of violence that would come towards abortion clinics by bombings, murders, and acid attack. Fueling further the debate between pro-choice supporters of abortions and pro-life anti-abortionists, which has boasted marches and protests from both sides. Along with the president's own support of the pro-life movement, the violence against clinics, and the backing by the pro-life community, the practice of abortion could be banned once again. and women could lose their right to bodily integrity and equality to their male counterparts, who don't need to worry about how children could affect their chances at getting a job or even going to school. It still stands that the first, second, and third waves of feminism have brought forth and solved many of the issues that have kept women from being equal citizens in the United States. Yet there was a need for a new wave, the fourth wave of feminism, which can pressure Congress to create new laws to help victims of sexual harassment and prosecute the perpetrators, federally outlaw the use of pink tax, and protect women's right to bodily integrity.